best advice I can give somebody that's up and coming is do you. Do you. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Don't worry about having somebody's blessing. Don't worry about don't ask for a handout. Don't expect a handout. Don't try like everybody wants acceptance. Everybody wants to be included. Just do you.
And let it happen.
What does Taco say? Do your shit.
Just do your own shit.
Just do your own shit. Just do your own shit.
He was like, there's 35 people streaming and I'm supporting 30 of them or 34 of them. Damn, get off my shit.
Don't do anything looking for anything in return. Because I tweeted it out, I think yesterday, the day before. Everybody and their mom, it seems like everybody and their mama streams now.
Yeah.
I only have Twitter because of Twitch. If I wasn't a streamer, I wouldn't have Twitter. The hell with Twitter.
I don't think so. I would either.
It's so and
it's
now
crazy.
Oh, and I didn't even have Twitter at first. So within the last year, it just seems like everybody on my Twitter feed is a streamer. Everybody's sharing their numbers, screenshotting their numbers. Like, when did screenshotting your numbers on your dashboard and putting it on Twitter become a thing?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop. There's the advice.
I'm being dead honest with you when I say this. No one cares about your numbers but you. Not a single soul cares about your numbers but you.
And that'll happen all the way up to like Nick Burke's status. Like, if he posted his numbers, I wouldn't give two shits. Like, I wouldn't care. You know, like, yeah, you got 40,000 subs today. How does that affect me? Do I get any of that? No. All right, later.
Just do you.
Yeah.
Just find your alley, find your lane, stick to it. Don't be an ass kiss. Just be you. Just be you. Whether it's you or whether it's a character. If you're just getting out, starting streaming, and you got this idea to be a character, stay with that. And if it works for you, it works for you. Whatever works for you, keep doing it.
Indeed. Love it, man. I appreciate your time today. Is there anything else you want to add? Is there something maybe you would want these guys to know that they don't know about you? Did we miss anything, or you think we covered it all?
I'm pretty transparent no matter where I go.
Yeah, man.
I didn't always used to be like that. I was always so guarded and closed off. And I told you when we started this, nothing was off limits except, detailed stuff about my military service. And because that's just something totally different. But anything I've said here tonight, I'm an open book. I'm very transparent when I'm streaming, in interviews. Like, this is the third podcast I think I've done this month.
Yeah, you're on fire, man. Everybody wants a piece of you.
And I want to start my own. I do want to start my own, and I want it to be. I love Michael Rappaport. I know a lot of people don't like him. Shocker. I know a lot of people don't like me either. But I want to start like a no holds barred, no filter. So I probably won't be on Twitch, because then my channel probably end up getting banned, suspended.
Oh, that's cool. I wish we would have covered that a little bit. So you're gonna start a podcast of your own?
I do want to. I've already got the concept. Like, I've already got the concept, obviously.
Okay.
I've got the name of it. It's gonna be Kepping It 100.
There you go. Love it.
When
can we expect it? Or is it?
I want to get artwork done. A logo, stuff like that.
Okay.
So.
Love it, man. Love it.
But no, I'm pretty transparent, man. I think we pretty much covered everything. I mean, I know we didn't touch on current events, but
yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about Black Lives Matter a little bit, man, I know that's something that two white guys really should kind of address. I mean, we both kind of have the same views when it comes to that, but I don't know if it's something anything you wanted to say to add to that, or. Yeah,
I mean, just be a decent human being, man. Like, yeah. I know a lot of people look at me, and I got suspended off Twitch for 30 days for going off on somebody on a game. Nobody heard him because I had my headset on. But he called me the N-word. He didn't know I was a white guy. He just heard how I was talking, how I was acting. He assumed I was, so he called me that, and I lost it.
Yeah, and I will say the only reason, and I was 100% on with you on that. I was there in that channel. The only reason why it looked bad is because we couldn't hear what he was saying.
Right.
And that was the only thing that got you, man. And it just seemed like
I didn't go to that dark place without being set off.
right.
So
And people that don't know you,
I don't go to a place like that without being set off.
right, right. And me knowing you, I was like, oh damn, this guy went across that line. But being the viewer, we only heard your side of it, and so it was just like, no, I wanted to like reach out and grab you because I knew you were just in red zone, and it was way out of line what the dude was doing, and he was obviously baiting you. And yeah, man, it's just unfortunate situation.
I went black. I went black. I love it. But a lot of people look at me like, oh, here's a chubby white guy. What the hell does he know?
Yeah.
I didn't grow up your typical white kid. We grew up in the inner city. We're the only white family on the block. There was a Vietnamese family a couple doors up, but I was surrounded by black people, Dominicans, Cubans, Puerto Ricans. That's how I grew up. That's all I knew. You know, I was one of the very few white kids in my elementary school, one of the very few white kids in my middle school. So I was raised around every type of people you could possibly imagine. So I never, from little on up till I was we moved out of the city after 7th grade year, and we moved to the outskirts of the city, and I was bused to a school that was damn near in the middle of Amish country because of the township we lived in. So when I got to that school, there was nothing but white kids. So I didn't fit in. I didn't walk the same. I didn't talk the same. I didn't act the same. I didn't dress the same. So it was tough for me. Middle school and high school was tough. You know, luckily I had baseball, but the stuff that's going on right now, I don't understand. I don't see color. Obviously, I mean, I do, but I don't grasp the whole
hatred for another
hatred on somebody based on the color of the skin. I'm about to be 39 years old. I've had talks with my kids. My daughter, she's got a heart of gold. I ain't got to worry about her. She's about to go off to college. A 14-year-old son, a 13-year-old stepson, and a 4-year-old baby who doesn't grasp anything right now. But he will have that talk when he's able to understand that you love everybody until one certain individual gives you a reason not to love them. You don't base a whole race or a whole group of people off the actions of one person. You look at I look at a person's eyes. I look at a person's eyes and a person's mind, not the color. You know
what do you think that, you know,
it gets me fired. It gets me fired up.
I know
I get angry. I get angry.
And it
with
should.
The stuff that I see.
And it should. What do you think us white people could do to help promote that change? Have the conversation more? Educate ourselves more?
Educate yourselves more. Talk to a black person. I mean, actually hear them, understand how they feel. Because as a white person, unless you've been involved, which I have, you know, I've hung out with nothing but minorities, so to speak, black people, Hispanic people, and been profiled simply because I was hanging out with them. You know, walking down the street and a cop pull over and stop us just because we're walking down this. I was treated the same because I was with them.
Well, even when you go to junior high and high school, you're probably labeled and profiled the whole time as like, the wannabe black guy or whatever. Yep. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
I was called the W word. Oh,
right. Yeah. So, you know, it's just, it's devastating.
To this day, hell, even Blake Snell, people, why are you acting black? What does it mean to act black?
Yeah. What does that even mean?
What is that like?
Yeah.
That I'm just now. Don't get me wrong. The older I've gotten, like I can adapt to certain situations. When I talk to my friends from back home, you just get in the vocabulary, and then when I get really angry, my cityness, whatever you want to call it, it'll come out. Like you can hear how I talk sometimes that I'm just a product of where I grew up, my environment.
Just like everybody.
I can adapt. I can adapt to every certain situation. Sure. Like if you would have told me, Kep, don't cuss on this podcast, I wouldn't have cussed on the podcast.
Right. So, well, and that's what's pro. But it's like that's what everybody is. Everybody is a product of their environment and their surroundings, and it's just heartbreaking that here we are. I'm 43. My whole life. First one I remember was the Rodney King situation, and you can just countless times it happens again and again and again and again
It's still
and again,
happening.
and it's still happening. My whole life, it's the same shit. And I hope this time around that maybe, and it looks like it is. I mean, this thing went worldwide. I mean, there were people in Denmark, in Norway, completely, 90% white countries protesting and standing up, finally saying enough is enough. And hopefully this is the time where fundamental changes start happening, systematic changes start happening, and we can finally start realizing that there is an issue.
I definitely hope systematically it changes, with government politics and police reform and stuff like that. Because some people will argue the numbers that more white people are shot and all of the whatever. But my thing is, like, you still see people, like, there's still people out there just being so hateful, draping the rebel flag around the Confederate flag and yelling the N-word at people. And you still see, like, even after George Floyd, you see restaurants not seating or feeding a black family, saying that their son isn't dressed appropriately when the white kid over there is dressed the same way, but you fed them. Yeah. Like, what is that shit, man?
It's crazy. Stop. I can't. It doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't, and it's in broad daylight. It's in broad daylight. It's not even hidden anymore. It's not even hidden anymore. It's like, and what I love what's going on right now is there's this exposing of racists going on out there. They're getting recorded and put and blasted up on Twitter, and that's how it should be, man. And until white people start having the conversation and start saying enough is enough from the top down, not Jugsy Siegel. I mean, what I say and what I tweet out for a like or a retweet or whatever doesn't mean shit. It's not going to change anything. But it's the white people in charge. Until they start recognizing it and seeing it for a problem, unfortunately, I think we'll be right back here again in no time.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's the heartbreaking part of it, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop.
It's still happening. I mean, even when we're having these conversations and protests, and it's still happening.
It is.
And
that's systematic.
When I was younger, I didn't like homosexual people, right? I didn't want to be around them. But I was young and stupid, right? And a lot of people are young and stupid. You think you know everything, you think whatever, right? But the older I get, like, not like right now, I love everybody. I don't care if you're gay, lesbian, trans, and
you've learned this.
I've gotten to know a few trans people in the past few years.
It's proof that it can.
What does it matter? As long as you're a decent human being,
love is love.
I don't care. I don't care what you like in your butt. I don't care what it is you do. Just as long as I don't care what color you are, how much money you make, what your religious beliefs are. I just give a shit that you're a decent human being, and that does not take any work at all.
Love is love, and it's proof. What he just said is proof that it's a learned behavior to hate. We're not born this way. And at whatever point in life, throughout life, you came to not like homosexuals, but you relearned to realize it's not an issue. So right. These are all learned behaviors. So we can relearn. If you have any hate in your heart, you can relearn to not hate. It's well, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's possible.
And I'll touch on that. I'll go back to my childhood, like where we grew up in the inner city. We grew up there because my grandparents were racist. They gave the house to my parents because the neighborhood was changing. Mm. They're old white people, the neighborhood was changing. They wanted to get out of there. They moved to the mountains, the coal regions in Pennsylvania, to a town called Casca, where there was no stop signs, no stoplights. It was nothing but a bunch of old white retired people up on a mountain in Pennsylvania somewhere, and they gave the house to my parents. So I'm grateful. I hated my grandparents because of how racist they were. They wouldn't even come. They did not step foot in our house after they gave the house to my parents because they didn't want to be in the neighborhood. So I am thankful and grateful that I grew up where I was. Like, I don't like that my grandparents were racist, but thank you, Grandma and Grandpa, because perhaps I'd be ignorant too if that didn't happen.
Just to address what Giants here said. I mean, I don't think any of us in here are condoning riots, Giant. The protests are one thing, riots are completely separate. Don't get it twisted. Now, I understand the riots. I understand them.
You have to understand.
I understand them, but I don't condone them by any stretch. I don't want any of that. But you got to understand, this is 400 years. Watch the documentary 13 on Netflix. It's called 13th, actually. It looks right there. You watch that documentary and you'll realize 400 years. For 400 years, a single race has been oppressed. That's fucking heartbreaking. That's terrible. Just from a humanity standpoint, just from a human race standpoint, that's heartbreaking. So watch that documentary. Riots, completely separate from the protests. I just wanted to...
history has shown that violence does bring change.
It does. I mean, and how many times have they gone this route? How many times has humanity gone this route and nothing has changed?
Right. It may take us a little longer because, again, things are still, but I think slowly we can get to a place. Again, I always say this, it starts at home. It starts at home. If you have children, if you're contemplating having children, don't bring children into this world until you can teach them right from wrong.
And have that conversation of love is love. I mean, I don't have kids and I can't speak from being a parent, but I know the difference between love and hate. I mean, that's just what we're born with. Love is love, man. That's the end of the... I mean, I think we should end it there with love is love, and it doesn't matter what you are, and just spread that message to anybody and everybody, especially your kids. Especially your kids. Kep, man, I love you to pieces, dude. I thank you so much for doing this with me, dude. I love you too,
brother. You become one of my best friends in all of Twitch, so... Likewise,
man. I'm going to let you get with your family and eat dinner with the wife. Guys, what's the schedule looking like? What's your schedule, Kep, so we can... Anybody who doesn't watch you can get a chance to check you out.
I normally stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not going to stream today. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Sunday with my family. But I
hope I didn't mess that up.
No.
Okay.
Well, you messed my stream up, but whatever.
Did I really? That's not... Oh, shit. I'm sorry, dude.
No, I wanted to do this. I looked forward to doing this, but I take Tuesdays off to do YouTube. Maybe since
maybe stream Tuesday.
I'm still gonna do, because Baby Kep will be busting my balls. Dad, do a video. Dad, do a video.
Shit.
So he's gonna want to do a YouTube video on Tuesday.
Okay.
But I may play the rest of my weekend league off stream so I can get that, the rewards for Tuesday's video. But I normally stream in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll start. It all depends on what Baby Kep.
Yeah.
If he wants to be a daddy's boy and he wants to do extra stuff on top of what I do with him in the morning, then Baby Kep is precedence. But I typically try now to go live no later than 2:30 in the afternoon, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Saturdays I typically try and get on around lunchtime and go.
That's weekend league, right?
Yeah. Again, with these ESL tournaments, I've been doing those. I did that last night. With the MLB game.
Yeah, he also streams MLB The Show. It's not just Madden, MLB The Show. It's also Madden and a little bit of Warzone with the kids.
A little bit of Warzone, yeah.
Yeah.
I set Baby Kep up in here in the room next to me, and he plays with me. I have a separate webcam that I put on him.
And if you've never seen a 4-year-old with like he said, the sheer joy and excitement of just being alive as a human being with the excitement, like this kid has, I want to be him. I just want to be him, man. He's got the...
That's the clip of him winning the gulag.
Watch that clip on the head out, man. Unbelievable.
But, yeah, man, just follow me. Turn on the notifications. If you can stop by, great. If not, hey, life comes before Twitch.
That's right, man.
I'm always around, man. Follow me on Twitter. I'm always around. Always.
I appreciate you, big guy. Get with that beautiful wife of yours and your family. And thanks again for doing this. And maybe we'll come back in another 6 months to a year and do a catch up and see what's going on with Kep.
Let's do it. God bless you, Jugsy. I love you, chat. Don't eat ass.
I love you, baby. All right, dude. Later. Unreal, man. Unreal stuff, man. Well, there you have it, guys. Big Kep, the legend. Thank you again for stopping in, dude. I really appreciate it. And man, I learned a lot about Kep today. I was nervous about Kep coming in to dig deep, man. And man, unbelievable guy. Make sure you guys watch that celebration with him and his kid is just fantastic, man. But make sure you get in and follow that Big Kep, dude. Great content. He's there every day like a rock. Madden, and he puts on a show, dude. And you saw what kind of guy he is right there outside of the stream a little bit. You know, he's not all rage and stuff. So heart of gold. And I'm grateful he did it. Next week on A Call to the Pen, we have KS Bats, the owners and operators of KS Bats. They're this company here that made this bat for me. And we are going to have them in. They make wood bats for leagues all the way up from youth to adult leagues. But this is a quality bat. This one here is 3432. Personally engraved to Jugsy Siegel. Legendary. But we're going to have the owners and operators of this company in next week. KS Bats. Check it out. There's their Instagram. Follow along. And they're an up-and-coming bat company. So I'm excited about that, man. They make pro bats. And then the week after that, we have the legend of the King of the North, Clue 27, another Twitch streamer who's in the MLB community and Madden community. So that is the following week after that. I forget the date, but those are our next two guests on deck, I should say. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I'm going to go ahead and hang out with the wifey, eat some dinner, decompress. And we'll come back for the night stream. Again, thank you for tuning in, man. If you guys didn't follow, if you don't know Big Kep, if you didn't see his link before, let me type it in chat once again. And thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Let's see if I get this right. I'm probably going to mess it up. Please be right. I think that's it. Yep. Make sure you follow him. Get into his YouTube. Sub to his YouTube as well. But yeah, we will see you later tonight. And for Big Kep, I'm Jugsy Siegel. We'll catch you next time on A Call to the Pen. Don't be a Jugsy and be good to each other. Peace. Hang tight for the raid. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Hang tight for the raid. Papa Vaz. I love you guys.
I'm not gonna go raid somebody that I know is gonna be sour because I don't want to do that to my. Oh my goodness, Jugsy!